This is Joe Basso for Music Radar, the place for music makers, and I'm speaking with Herman Li, one of the two lead guitarists from the band Dragonforce. Herman, how you doing?
Not bad, not bad. Pretty good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Right off the bat, I should ask about Guitar Hero, how it's changed your life. Your track, Through the Fire and Flames, sort of became the can you play this track on the game?
I guess one of the things that changed the most. Excuse me, I bit my tongue yesterday, so if I sound funny, anyone listening out there, don't worry. I guess every day now I get asked the same question: can I play my own song in Guitar Hero? I guess that really one of the things that changed most in my life. But yeah, apart from that, I think you reach out. You put Dragonforce to a new audience, and people have never heard the music, and that's really been good. Good for the last album, Inhuman Rampage.
So you see no downside at all that your band basically reached a new level of popularity because of a video game?
Yeah, definitely, because we actually finished touring before. The game is, the most popular is in America more than anywhere else, and we stopped touring just around, I think, a few months before Guitar Hero 3 came out. And when Guitar Hero 3 came out, it's like our new album, or not our new album, our last album just got re-released again, and there's like a whole buzz happening, and it was good. It kept business going while we were away from America.
What is your overall impression of the Guitar Hero and Rock Band games? How do you see it as a phenomenon?
It really get people into rock music, expose them to it, and maybe get them to play an instrument. I think it's a good thing. At the end of the day, it's a video game. Just because you can play our song on Expert on the video game doesn't mean they even have a chance of playing it after when you're guitar playing, the real thing.
Now, Dragonforce is famous for its guitar solos. You and your co-guitarist, Sam Totman, you guys trade licks and solos like there's no end in sight. Did you guys study any other classic dual lead guitar bands when forming Dragonforce?
I mean, we listened to a lot of, obviously, double guitar stuff like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden, the early stuff. I used to listen to stuff like Symphony X and Cacophony, which is the more underground, ultra shredding kind of stuff. But it wasn't something that we tried to just emphasize on. I think the success of Dragonforce at the end is basically the songs are catchy. You can have all these guitars, going in and out and about, but if the song's rubbish, it's kind of pointless. So we always actually spend more time on the songs than the solo. Solo is actually the last thing we actually spend time on when we make an album.
How would you describe the differences in playing styles between you and Sam?
I think first album compared to now the fourth album, Ultra Beatdown, we share each other's techniques more on the newer stuff than the older stuff. I think the first album when it came out like in 2003, we sound really, really different. But I think the note choice is always going to be different. No matter what techniques you play, techniques is one thing, but the note choice is what also I think show, I don't know, give the identity to the player. And his note choice and my note choice has always been kind of different, and I think it always will.
Like if Sam does something more conventional in a way on your next solo, will you try to do something more extreme and vice versa?
I don't like the safe notes all the time. I don't like to land on the safe notes. I don't mean the passing notes, but the one that sits on the chord, because I find them kind of boring and the same. So I like to use a lot of the unsafe note, whatever you call it. Just the style is different. Sam writes out all his solos, and I improvise all my solos. So the whole feel of it is different too. But even though we share the similar kind of guitar technique, like tapping and fast playing, yeah.
What kind of formal training have you had? Did you go to a guitar institute?
My only training is basically from instructional videos and reading guitar magazines. When I started off, Sam is actually the classical trained musician. I'm not, so I just learn from whatever I can get. And now with the internet and stuff, I think it's even easier for people that want to learn the guitar. When I started playing guitar, I think that's when the grunge, the whole new metal thing was the thing, and it wiped out any kind of melodic guitar out of rock and metal. So it definitely wasn't wasn't there, and I had to kind of look back and search back to other guitarists to learn from.
It's interesting you mentioned grunge. During that period, were you disheartened in any way that the kind of guitar playing that you do was out of style?
I don't think so. I think I realized what I like to listen to and what I want to play, and that's pretty much what I pursued. And it's the same thing with Dragonforce. When we started off, we like the joke, why are you playing solos? Back then, it's still kind of like a funny thing to be singing and not growling on the voice for metal. So, I think that's kind of my determination. I always had to, to do what I want to listen to and what I want to play.
Now, you have a pretty elaborate home studio where you record most of the records, correct?
Yeah, I record everything guitars, definitely record at my place, yeah.
What is in your setup? Do you demo on GarageBand? What's in your home setup?
It's actually very, very simple. I just have a DigiDesign 002 and a DI box, and what have I got? A Rocktron Prophecy preamp, which does all the lead sounds, and I've got a reamp along the normal guitar stuff. The only studio stuff I got is basically a DI box and a Pro Tools LE system. I don't think you need a million things and million effects, really. I don't even use compressors or anything on the guitar. All I use is some distortion.
There's that theory that you need a good room sound to get great guitar tracks, like Jimmy Page used to do, recording in castles and whatnot. So I guess you don't subscribe to that notion?
I don't really see it that way. How close I put my microphone to the speaker, it's not going to catch the room anyway. And it's hard to, when you have the room, it's hard to control the sound in the mix because you got all these other stuff that are interfering, like the reverb and all that. That's the way I see recording anyway. Everyone produce differently and record and engineering differently. That's my style, and that's how I like to hear the guitar on the record.
You're pretty much known for being a perfectionist, doing take after take after take of solos. Why is that? A lot of players would say spontaneity is the thing.
When I'm in a studio mode, I hear every single little thing. I mean, I hear fret buzz on the guitar solos, all these kind of things. And to be honest, I mean, I'm trying to give the 100% effort and really capture the one. I don't, if it has to be 100 take to get that right one, I'll do it, because what gets recorded pretty much stay in history for the rest of its life, and it's important that we get something right. And every little detail you miss, when you start putting them all together, it really make a big difference on what's a good album or a bad album.
But sometimes do you feel like you're chasing your own tail in a way, like that solo you played the second time isn't any better than the 35th time?
Oh, absolutely. I totally think sometimes I did like 6 hours of this one solo, and probably the fifth one was good enough. I'm on the 200th or something, and it's gone. It's been wiped over, forever gone. But in a way, I also feel like the first couple can't be that good. The more time I spend playing these notes and experimenting with these different chords and the key changes, I'm going to be better later on in the game.